All right, Marvel fans, Marvel Comics, Disney Plus, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Basically, we're talking Falcon and Winter Soldier, and change your pace here on the channel. You know, occasionally I'll drop a video like this because the few people who actually commented on my episode review of episode 1 wanted me to talk about the series. So this is a fun topic because I'm just baffled by the amount of hate Tony Stark has been getting online since episode 1. This was actually a trending topic on like Friday night, Saturday, basically over the weekend. People trying to cancel Tony Stark because it was revealed in the Falcon and Winter Soldier that the Avengers don't get paid, and people just automatically assume that it was Tony's responsibility to fill up the bank accounts of the members of the team. So we're going to talk about that in this video. So before moving forward, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. Hit subscribe because remember, trying to get the watch time up. So if you are a frequent viewer, hit subscribe because we're currently at 31% watch time. I'm trying to get to 40 by the end of the month. And finally, hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Now, during a particular scene where Sam and his sister were at the bank trying to get a loan to pretty much refurbish their family boat and, the seafood restaurant they had, or seafood or fishing company they had, it's just a lot going on post the blip. And unfortunately, they weren't approved for the loan because, due to things tightening up since a bunch of people came back to life, it was revealed that, there was no income. But then again, Sam was blipped. So it's like his sister said, how could there be any source of income for 5 years when you didn't exist for 5 years? And he asked a lot of questions about, so when it comes to avenging, was there any kind of, monetary compensation? No, it was a lot of just, goodwill and stuff like that. So that pretty much set a lot of people off. Why didn't they get paid? A couple things with that. First of all, theoretically speaking, let's just talk simplicity here. Let's say Tony was paying Sam. Let's just say hypothetically he was. Captain America Civil War, if I'm not mistaken, took place around 2016. Because remember, in the MCU, it's currently 2023 because the 5-year jump at the start of Endgame, so it's 2023. And when they got the Infinity Gauntlet, Tony was like, hey, don't change time. Please don't change anything that's happened over the past 5 years. Just bring back everyone. We just want to bring back what we lost, but I don't want to lose what we've gained. Basically, in regards to Morgan, his daughter. So basically, from there, Civil War, when the Sokovia Accords happened and, there was a rift in the superhero community, the Avengers specifically, Sam, Natasha, Cap were declared fugitives, rogues, whatever you want to call it. So they were no longer part of the Avengers. They were on the run for about 2 years until they reappeared in 2018, which was Infinity War. So let's just say if there was payment or compensation, it's clear to me that Tony wouldn't be paying for fugitives. So, during that time from 2016 to 2018, Sam wasn't getting any money. They come back in Infinity War, and guess what? Sam gets dusted. So basically, at the end of that movie, he gets dusted. And then we move to Endgame, a 5-year time jump. So from again, hypothetically, if Tony was paying the Avengers from 2016, when Sam went rogue, to 2023, where he got snapped back, it seems pretty clear he was not making any money. So when we jump to Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's been about 6 months or so since the blip, because I do believe it was stated that Falcon and Winter Soldier takes place after WandaVision in the timeline continuity, but it still takes place a few months prior to Spider-Man Far From Home. So we learned that for the past 5 or 6 months, basically since he got brought back, Sam has been working with the Air Force, so he even mentions how, he's getting, like some sort of payment from the Air Force, but it's that time gap where he was dusted that the bank is like, well, we don't have any source of income, so unfortunately you don't qualify for the loan, especially since the new regulations in place since the blip happened. That's why, we can't give you the money. So people went off on Tony Stark, but it's like, if you go back to Age of Ultron, it's like he said at the beginning when Maria Hill is like, sure thing, boss. Oh, I'm not the one in charge. I'm just the one that pays for everything and helps to make everybody look cooler. And then I also believe in that same movie during the party, where this is before they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. It's like when they're just having that good party, Avengers Tower is just full of people. There's a moment where Sam and Steve were just talking about the missing persons case, Bucky, and he mentions, hey, you're gonna get a place in Brooklyn? And Steve's like, well, I can't afford a place in Brooklyn. And I'm like, wait, Steve Rogers can't afford a place in Brooklyn? Like, doesn't he have military compensation? Because I did see this great video that broke it down about how technically Cap was still alive, so his years frozen, he should be entitled to a crap ton of money. So I'm like, does he get it in small payments or what? So remember, this was still when S.H.I.E.L.D. was a thing, and I wager that, they would get some sort of compensation. Now, you could argue, well, what about Hawkeye? He works for S.H.I.E.L.D., and he and his family live on like a small farm, so obviously they're not that much, wealthy. That's debatable because I feel like Hawkeye being, in the position he's in, he likes to keep things low key. So I don't think he would want to be in a luxurious mansion like Tony Stark in order to stay off the radar. Because like, Hawkeye said in Age of Ultron, hey, this is one of the safe houses, S.H.I.E.L.D. arranged to keep my family safe. So I'm not saying Hawkeye is rich, but I'm not saying he's broke either. So I do think that S.H.I.E.L.D. was compensating him for his services. And then when you look at Captain America, after he was brought back from the ice and, after the events of the Avengers, he worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. So I do think that he made some money considering he does have a small apartment in Brooklyn, but he, has an apartment nonetheless. So he was making some sort of compensation. However, when S.H.I.E.L.D. was pretty much dismembered in Winter Soldier, that's when Tony, kind of amped things up with Avengers Tower and then the new Avengers headquarters in Spider-Man Homecoming. So he pretty much took over in terms of funding the Avengers, but I don't think he was paying the Avengers. That's just my opinion. Now, in the comics, he does, but in the MCU, I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, it doesn't make sense for people to be mad at Tony Stark. That's all I'm really saying there. So those are my thoughts when it comes to the Avengers not being paid, but whatever. What can you do? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want more videos like this on the channel, or do you prefer if I just put these kind of videos on my secondary channel about geek culture? So thanks so much for tuning in. And speaking of money, if you want to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon.